So I instantly spawn into my world, and I was already prepared to survive the 7 days, but I meet Fred the Panda, which is probably the cutest thing in this entire world because it's full of drowns for some reason. Now I start to break down some trees, but this is where the Switch 1 starts to show its age, and that's because it starts lagging every time you start breaking a log, and when you finish the log it takes like 1 second to give you the block, which is really bad. I hated my spawn area, so I started to build a boat, and that was so I could sail the seas like I was Luffy from One Piece. Now, it doesn't really show it here, but sometimes when I was riding the boat, it was really laggy. Now, this is not an issue on the Switch 2, but it is a major issue on the Switch 1. Now, right here's another instance where the Switch 1 was lagging during the playthrough, and that's where I was hitting an animal trying to kill it. As you can see, it's lagging really bad on my end, and it's just so bad. You're not going to face this issue on the Switch 2 if you decide to play it. Right here's another example of the lagging when you're hitting an animal. As you can see, I'm hitting this cow, and you can see it stays red for a solid second, and the screen starts to lag a lot. So I find the area I want to build my base in. Now, it's not going to be any special base, it's just going to be a dirt hut, because I did not have the materials to make a good base on day 1, but it was a start to a base. So I made these 2x2 holes so no mobs could get to my house, and it was supposed to be like a moat from a castle, and that's really what I based my house on, but it never really went anywhere. So as night started to approach, I decided, why don't I build some walls so I am protected as the night goes on? And this wasn't going to be no permanent house. I was going to change it, and I do change it a little bit in the future, but I never really get it recorded as showing me changing it. But I did not access creative mode because you cannot access creative mode on hardcore mode in Minecraft Bedrock. My walls were finished, but I remembered I forgot my crafting table, which I did not want to waste my wood making another crafting table when I already had one made. So I break this part of my wall, and I start looking around. I didn't see anything at first, but then I see a spider and a zombie. I was praying that they did not spot me, so I quickly broke my crafting table and darted back to my house. Now, I did not show it, but I did find some coal under my house, which was really good, and it was only the one piece, but I did later find some more, so I was able to cook some food. So I placed the torches that I made with the coal I found, and I was starting to feel a little bit proud that I was surviving an entire night in hardcore mode, something I rarely ever do because I low-key suck at Minecraft. Now, I heard a zombie, and I was wondering where it was, and it instantly locked onto me, and it was holding a piece of chicken, which was really funny, because I think I might have dropped it, or might have killed a chicken, and it picked it up, but I decided I'm going to kill this zombie, because I need that golden helmet. Now, I killed the zombie, but this shows how stupid I could be, because I did not hear the drown, and it instantly starts attacking me, which is kind of foreshadowing that it would die to a drown or at the beginning of day 3, which is funny, and it gets me to 3.5 hearts, but I eventually kill it. Now, unfortunately, I did not get a trident from the drowned, but it was okay. I showed that I could still survive and fight my way to survive an entire week in this world. So I put on the golden helmet because I needed the armor. Like, if I wanted to survive an entire week in this world, I needed armor to survive. I needed to regenerate health, so I started to eat food, and I noticed that day 2 was approaching, and I got really happy. Day 2 was a semi-normal day because nothing really important happened, but it was my second day of the run, so I decided I needed some more wood, so I started breaking down some trees. And while I was breaking these trees, I was keeping an eye out for any hostile mobs, but mainly I was keeping an eye out for a sheep. Now, I was only going to allow myself to sleep through one night, so I wasn't just skipping every night and it would be the easiest challenge ever. So I only allowed myself to sleep on one night, but I never got to do that. So I started making this tunnel as well, so I would have easy access to get out of my house, and I put these trapdoors so I could get under my house easy. Now, I never showed myself building it, but I did put walls around the holes so no hostile mobs could get into my house as easy as they could, but still spiders could come into my house. But I was starting to build more and more to my house. Nothing really important happens on night 2, except that I build myself a furnace so I could cook some food so I wasn't using up all my raw food. So I make the furnace and I decided, why don't I just cook some steak? Because my character is starting to get a little hungry and I did not want to die on day 2. So this is like one of the minor changes because I instantly reverse this change. So I started putting torches around my house, but I later tear down all my walls due to me wanting to have more of a normal house. So I started placing some torches on my walls, keeping an eye out for any zombies. I did not see any, so I started walking to the other side, and then I hear a zombie. And I was trying not to look that Enderman dead in the eye, but I instantly started getting attacked by a zombie, also landing on another 3.5 hearts, which is kind of funny, because I think I die on that number too, and that was the number that the drown gets me. So I quickly go to my house, and I hide for the rest of the night. Here's me building some parts of my house. I start adding a floor later, but I never really record it. And I hear a sheep. I want to kill it, but my wall stops me from being able to do that. But I kill this zombie villager. I did not record much of day 3, and that's because I died, but I do replace my grass floor with a nice jungle wooden floor. Now right here, I did not notice it at first, but I do see the drown that kills me holding the trident, and I think it's the same drown from the evening of day 2. So I start finishing cutting down my final tree, and I decided I want to go swim back to my house because my house isn't that far, but I make a very bad choice. Now I'm only at 2.5 hearts, and I paused the game, and this was the worst decision I could have made because I get killed by the drowned, ending my first attempt, lagging the whole game out. So this is what my house looked like on day 1, and this is what it looked like on day 3. So I did not even notice that drowned was there, so I guess I lost attempt 1, but attempt 2 is going to be on a modern version of Minecraft, not the Spring to Life update. But yeah, that's how my first attempt to a Nintendo Switch 1 Minecraft Hardcore 1 week challenge went. I'm pretty ticked off about how it ended, and I guess we'll see each other again when I try this again. Don't forget, I am posting an unknown video about Pokemon. But yeah, bye.